At the executive meeting, an intern replaced the water with taro boba milk tea without permission. The greedy chairman went to grab some, only for me to swat his hand away. You're lactose intolerant and can't have sweet drinks. Did you forget how sick you were last time, tossing and turning till midnight? Never expected that this comment would make the intern rally the entire company to ostracize me. You're just a lowly employee and you dare scold the chairman? Do you not want your job anymore? Hurry up and kneel to apologize to the chairman. I shook off her hand. I've disciplined him plenty at home too. None of your damn business. The intern's eyes burned red with rage, threatening to fire me. I'm about to marry the chairman's son, and homewreckers like you. I'll take down everyone I see. What? My dad is getting remarried? To a dead person? 01. Upon hearing the news that my father was remarrying, I was momentarily confused. He passed away 20 years ago. Amelia, who do you think you are? Daring to boss Mr. Miller around. He just wanted a cup of milk tea. Was it necessary to embarrass him in front of so many people? My roommate Chloe reprimanded me righteously. We were both interns at this company. Before the executive meeting, I had reminded Chloe that Mr. Miller was lactose intolerant and shouldn't consume sweets. Yet she still secretly replaced the tea I had prepared in advance with taro boba milk tea. The milk tea sat properly placed before us. When the chairman reached for it, I swiftly slapped his hand away. You can't have sweets. Don't be greedy. I then retrieved a bottle of mineral water for him instead. All the executives watched wide-eyed as a wet behind-the-ears intern like me actually dared to discipline the chairman. Afterward, Chloe, who was responsible for arranging the meeting, confronted me and led all staff in ostracizing me. Amelia, you've got some nerve. Starved for attention, aren't you? Want everyone to know the chairman obeys you? People might mistake him for a henpecked husband. I warned her. Chloe, watch your mouth. I pretended to leave, but before I took 2 steps, Chloe had already rallied interns from other departments to surround me. What a grand siege. Amelia, who are you to criticize me? You're the one in the wrong here. It's freezing outside. What's the problem with me replacing the tea with taro boba milk tea? I paid for it myself. It's not company money. Besides, you embarrassed the chairman in front of everyone. How's he supposed to maintain his standing in the company after this? Before the parties involved could say anything, Chloe was already beside herself with impatience. Frowning, I retorted impatiently, the chairman hasn't even scolded me yet. Chloe, by what authority are you chastising me here? My words caused an uproar in the room. The crowd immediately turned against me. How dare you get worked up? What right do you have to lose your temper at Chloe? As fellow interns, didn't your parents even teach you basic respect? Everybody knows Chloe's about to marry the chairman's son. Right after graduation she'll have such a brilliant future. Forget about changing it to taro boba milk tea. Even if she swapped it for something else, the company executives would still have to drink it. She's the chairman's future daughter-in-law, after all. Stop, stop, stop. What kind of international joke is this? The future daughter-in-law of the chairman? My future stepmother? Chloe, basking in the glory of being put on a pedestal, said smugly, Amelia, now do you still think there's a problem with me swapping the tea for taro boba milk tea? If I were to say there was a problem, she'd probably order me to pack my things and get out today. Just as everyone thought I was about to back down, I raised an eyebrow and chuckled. There is a problem, a huge one. I think you're attempting to murder the chairman. 02. Chloe froze for a moment, then hurriedly retorted, what nonsense are you talking about? How could I possibly murder the chairman? Amelia, I'm warning you, slandering me will come at a cost. If this isn't murder, then what is? Knowing full well the chairman is lactose intolerant, yet deliberately ordering fully sweetened milk tea. I couldn't be bothered to argue with her about this. Coincidentally, the chairman sent me a text saying he was waiting for me outside. Before I could reply to the message, Chloe snatched my phone away. Give it back. I reached out to grab it, but before I could even touch Chloe, her lackeys had me restrained. She exclaimed loudly, who is this, my family's old man? And claiming he's waiting for you in the car. Could it be some shady man you're seeing? Just like that, Chloe revealed my contact name for Grandpa to everyone. Amelia, we've been classmates for 4 years after all. Seems to me you're just jealous, aren't you? Jealous that I'll be marrying into wealth after graduation, while you'll be slaving away your whole life, unable to even pay your basic bills. Do you think those executives will look at you in a new light just because you publicly defied the chairman today? Amelia, Cinderella will always be Cinderella. She can never become a princess. Ever since my internship, I'd heard rumors that Chloe was involved with the chairman's son. I thought it was just gossip. Turns out she was serious. Throughout college, I maintained a low-key and unassuming style. My grandfather always said my father had died tragically because he drew too much attention and made enemies. So I focused on my studies, earning numerous scholarships. Chloe was also competing for the scholarship. Since my grades were consistently slightly better than hers, she repeatedly missed out on the scholarship and secretly held a grudge against me. Nobody in the entire company knew that the chairman was my paternal grandfather. Stopping him in public today was a rash mistake on my part. Now Chloe was going to make a big deal out of it. I'm the chairman's future daughter-in-law, Amelia. If you apologize to him, I'll let this go. How about that? Farting. My dad's been dead for over 20 years. Which dad does she want to marry? Besides, my grandpa only had my dad as his son. I sneered, first time seeing someone so eager to marry a dead man. Hearing this, Chloe instantly darkened. How dare you curse my boyfriend? Amelia, you're done for. Within 3 days, I'll make sure you pack your things and get the hell out. Hearing this, my fellow interns all urged me. Why did you have to provoke her? Her boyfriend is the chairman's own son, you know. Just apologize quickly, and this'll blow over. That's right, Amelia. We all know your tuition and living expenses these past 4 years were covered by scholarships. Now that you finally landed a job, why are you determined to ruin it? It's true my tuition was paid by scholarships, but that doesn't mean I'm penniless or can be bullied at will. Chloe looked down at me condescendingly. Now you see my real capabilities, Amelia. Go apologize to the chairman. Don't upset my future father-in-law, or the consequences will be unthinkable. Wonderful, now she's threatening me. I shook off my restrainers, stood up, and dusted myself off. I won't apologize. Go ahead and have your boyfriend fire me if you dare. Perfect. I'd love to see if my dad could crawl out of his grave to fire me. 03. The way I talked back made her furious. Chloe was boiling with anger, grabbed my hair and threw me to the ground. Amelia, your mouth is as foul as ever. How dare a mere intern like you talk back to the future lady boss of this company? I bet you only got in through connections. Who's backing you? Speak up. For a moment, everyone assumed I'd landed this internship at such a prestigious company through shady connections. The position I'd worked so hard to get through campus recruitment was being smeared by her as some sort of bodily transaction. The retort rose to my lips, but I bit it back just in time. That necklace around her neck looked strangely familiar. Wait. Wasn't that the golden pendant I'd bought for my poodle just yesterday? It's made of pure gold. This morning I noticed the pendant was missing and asked the driver, David, about it. He said the dog might have been too mischievous and promised to help me look for it later. Shouldn't it be in my backyard? How did it suddenly appear around Chloe's neck? Whose necklace is this? I suddenly spoke up. Chloe's little entourage immediately defended her. Of course it was a gift from Chloe's boyfriend. The way you said that makes it sound like she stole it. I quickly stood up and grabbed the golden pendant, flipping it over. Chloe gasped in shock. Amelia, have you no shame? This was bought by my boyfriend. If you want one, have your sugar daddy buy it for you. Forget it. This golden pendant has my pet dog's name engraved on the back, Max. I didn't want to keep arguing with these people. I was eager to ask Grandpa for confirmation, but they surrounded me again. What's this? Workplace bullying? I glared at Chloe, noticing her smug expression. She held up her phone and enthusiastically started a live stream. In the past, homewreckers like you would have been publicly executed. Today, I'll act on heaven's behalf to deliver justice. Everyone spit on her once, and I'll have my boyfriend approve your probation period for full employment. How about that? The crowd burst into applause. So you think you can bully me with such cheap tricks? I raised an eyebrow. Chloe, pushing things this far, you'll surely regret it someday. Chloe said indifferently, so what? I'm going to be the future wife of the company's boss. I can fire anyone I want. Besides, my boyfriend and I are meeting his parents in a few days. When the chairman personally acknowledges me in front of you nobodies, Amelia, you'll be the one full of regrets. The spit came flying one after another. I wasn't foolish enough to stand there and take it, so I bolted straight out the door. Grandfather's car had long since left. He'd sent his driver David to pick me up instead. Through the rearview mirror, my eyes met the driver's. David, did you ever find Max's gold pendant? He glanced at me reflexively. My apologies, miss. I haven't found it yet, but I pulled the security footage from the area. There've been quite a few stray dogs roaming our neighborhood lately. It might have been snatched by one of them. What a sharp-eyed dog it was, always picking the most expensive stuff to snatch. Throughout the ride, David's phone kept ringing non-stop. After I got out of the car, he couldn't hold back any longer and finally answered the call, followed by a loud scolding. How could you do something so stupid? 04 Upon returning home, I noticed Grandpa wasn't lounging on the leather sofa as usual but sitting bolt upright, as if waiting for me. The moment he saw me, tears welled up in his aged eyes. My dear granddaughter, tomorrow I'll go to the company and declare you as my sole heir. Your grandfather won't let those who bullied you get away with it. Turns out Grandpa had seen the live broadcast. Previously keeping my identity hidden at the company was his wish. His original intention was to spare me unnecessary conflicts, but unexpectedly, I ended up being bullied so badly. I forced a smile and went upstairs to freshen up before returning with proper decorum to talk with Grandpa. That girl named Chloe said she wants to marry my son, and that she'll be the future mistress of the house? I nodded. He suddenly slammed his teacup onto the table. How many years has it been since your father died? Could he have faked his death to trick me? When I was 2 years old, my father was targeted by his enemies. On a business trip, he was caught in a landslide and died instantly. Not even his remains were found. 3 days before my father's accident, my parents had just finalized their divorce. Afterward, my mother asked me if I wanted to go abroad with her. I shook my head in refusal. No, Grandpa only had Dad as his only son. Now that Dad's gone, I need to stay with Grandpa. Truth be told, I knew Mom already had a new family abroad, so I willingly stayed by Grandpa's side to take care of this old man. But everything suddenly seemed less wonderful. I abruptly remembered Chloe mentioning meeting the parents. She said after that meeting, they'd immediately hold their wedding, and then Chloe would become the boss's wife of the corporation. At that moment, the driver David walked in at an inopportune time. Without a word, he plopped down on his knees before Grandpa. Chairman, as you know, I'm no spring chicken anymore. I've recently started dating a girl, and our parents are about to meet. So I have a request. Would you please pretend to be my father, just so I can hold my head high in front of my girlfriend? David, is that you? I couldn't help but laugh. Over these past few days, I'd been deliberately buying lots of jewelry to adorn my teddy bear. Without exception, these items would appear on Chloe the very next day. Every piece of jewelry was engraved with the Miller family initials on the back. She retorted, all of these were gifts from my boyfriend. Unlike some people who've latched onto the manager but still don't wear anything valuable. How stingy. My boyfriend is definitely more generous, alright? Other interns flattered Chloe, saying how lucky she was. Oh really? Seeing this, Chloe became even more brazen and dumped all her work on me. Fail to complete your assigned tasks, and you won't pass the internship period, I kindly reminded her. Chloe deliberately displayed her hands full of jade bracelets. I'll soon be the mistress of this company. Amelia, tomorrow I'll have my boyfriend fire you. Pray for mercy. Amelia, ever since college you've loved stealing everything from me. First the scholarships, now boyfriends. Just wait until I become the boss's wife. I'll make you pay. If I still show up for work tomorrow, wouldn't that be slapping her in the face? Let's see if her boyfriend will give me marching orders tonight. Sure enough, David, who usually didn't speak much to me, knocked on my door. He hemmed and hawed for a long while before finally mustering the courage to speak. Miss, could you resign tomorrow? 05. David, what do you mean by this? I'm doing fine in my job, yet you're asking me to quit? David looked extremely flustered, with beads of sweat on his forehead so excessive it was almost shocking. Yet he still tried to maintain a firm tone. This week marks your father's death anniversary. This year is 20 years since he passed. According to our hometown customs, we should visit his grave. It would be better for him this way. According to the customs of his hometown, he didn't even bother finding a better excuse. I pretended to comply. Thank you for the reminder, David. I will. He thought I had agreed to resign and left happily. Little did he know, the next day I appeared at the company entrance as usual, effectively slapping Chloe in the face. What are you doing here? Didn't you already get fired? I nonchalantly continued with my work, sneering, seems like your boyfriend doesn't listen to you too well. Whispers of discussion instantly rose from all sides. Chloe stomped off furiously, bag in hand. At the same time, I also answered my grandfather's call. Good girl, come to the hotel. Grandfather still agreed to that meal with David. After all, I was eager to know whether my suspicions were correct or wrong. The private dining room was luxuriously decorated, located in the group's affiliated hotel, ensuring total privacy. What kind of scoundrel is this David anyway? It's been over 20 years since my father passed away. Who knows how many gullible girls he's duped by invoking my father's name. If I'm not mistaken, the reason David got involved with Chloe was mostly because of Grandpa. During my college years, whenever Grandpa had something to give me, he'd always have David make a special trip to deliver it. To keep a low profile, we usually met at the back gate of the campus. That time when I went out to collect the package, I didn't see David, just a black sedan speeding away and the profile of my roommate Chloe's face. I sat beside my grandfather, staring at my wristwatch with increasing distraction. A full half-hour late. Impatience rose on grandfather's face. No manners. He was a man with an intense sense of punctuality. Even being 1 or 2 minutes late was unacceptable. Any external reasons didn't matter. Grandfather would only consider such a person thoughtless. Amelia, I have an important meeting to attend. Will you be all right on your own here? I thumped my chest with conviction. Don't worry, Grandpa. I truly want to see with my own eyes, whether it's my father coming back from the dead, or someone deliberately impersonating him. Not long after Grandpa left, David brought his girlfriend over. But his girlfriend wasn't Chloe. The woman following David appeared to be in her early 30s, dressed simply, and seemed appropriately matched in age with David. How could it not be Chloe? The next second, Chloe bounced out from behind him, full of energy. and slipped her arm through David's. She turned to the plainly dressed cleaning lady and snapped, "Get lost. Don't stand near my boyfriend. What if you dirty his designer suit?" So it was Chloe. The person pretending to be my father turned out to be David. Chloe was completely mesmerized by the opulent decor of the private room before her. After scanning the room, she still couldn't spot her grandfather anywhere. I sat motionless in the private room alone, while David's heart turned cold, his face filled with panic and helplessness, fearing I'd expose him. He dared not speak much, but Chloe had no such reservations. "Amelia, what are you doing here?" I countered. "Guess why I'm here." She threatened under her breath, "Get the hell out now. Today's the day my boyfriend and I meet his parents. Don't you dare ruin this. Push me too far, and once I become the company's boss's wife, you'll regret it. You can only become the company's boss lady by marrying my dad." I looked at the flustered David before me and softly laughed. "Oh really? So you're about to marry the chairman's son? Since she's so eager to marry a dead man, then I'll grant her wish. Isn't this common knowledge? But what damn business is it of yours, Amelia?" She showed no mercy with her words. I turned my gaze toward David, but before I could speak, he rebuked her sharply. "Keep your mouth shut and learn some manners." Chloe was so startled by the sudden outburst that she nearly lost her footing. She muttered faintly, "You yelled at me." After a long pause, she finally regained her composure and then unleashed a series of shocking remarks. "Amelia, I should have known you were no good. How old are you already, seducing the chairman? Even my boyfriend was easily intimidated by you. Speak quickly. What tricks did you use? You want to be my boyfriend's stepmother, is that it? As if you're worthy. The chairman is old enough to be your grandfather, and you're not picky at all, daring to throw yourself at anyone." Not content with just words, Chloe grabbed my hair with her hands. Only after several tugs from David did she finally let go of me. Chloe covered David's mouth and comforted him. "Don't worry, I would never let such a person into our home. How dare she think she could be our stepmother? Who does she think she is?" I rolled up my sleeves and slapped Chloe without hesitation. The slap rang out crisp and clear. She turned her face slightly, and when she came to her senses and tried to retaliate, I dodged her effortlessly. I had been hiding my strength before. She really thought I was just a penniless student who couldn't even harm a fly. I summoned the self-defense skills I'd practiced since childhood, gripped Chloe by the throat, and slammed her onto the ground. "Such a foul mouth. Did your parents never teach you how to speak properly?" David moved to intervene again, but I silenced him with a glare. "Stay right where you are unless you want me to deal with you next." That completely froze David in place. No matter how desperately his little girlfriend shrieked and wailed, he didn't dare make another move. The words coming from Chloe's mouth grew increasingly vicious. I swiftly grabbed a napkin from the table and shoved it into her mouth. Tears streamed down Chloe's face like rain on pear blossoms as she sobbed. "Save me. Help me, Amelia. How dare you threaten my boyfriend? Just you wait." I pretended not to hear, increasing the pressure of my grip. 10 minutes later, Chloe was left in a dreadful state, her eyes swollen, her chin bruised dark. That felt good. David hastily helped her up and tried to escort her away. Chloe pounded his chest. "You're so useless. Just standing there watching your dad's mistress hit me without helping. I'm breaking up with you." As if she'd actually break up, never. Back in school, Chloe had dated plenty of rich young heirs, the kind she'd never let go of once she got her hands on them. "Chloe, shut your mouth." David scolded her mercilessly, then cast a cowardly glance at me before hurrying away. The sound of Chloe's cursing and David's soothing words still lingered in my ears. I twisted my wrist, picked up the glass of water on the table, drained it in one gulp, then let out a long sigh before grabbing my phone to call David. "If you don't get your ass in front of me within 5 minutes, I'll tell Chloe the truth and sue you for fraud." It didn't take 5 minutes. Within 2, David came scurrying to me like a frightened dog. When he saw me, he immediately knelt on the ground begging for mercy. "Miss, this is my fault. I had no idea my girlfriend would speak about you like that. I've already scolded her. Please rest assured, she absolutely won't make such a mistake again. And, the things she did at the company were truly inappropriate. I beg you to let her off. Miss, all of this is my fault. Could you please not report this to the chairman? I still need this job to support my family." So he had a family back in his hometown. In other words, he'd been keeping Chloe as his mistress. He suddenly kowtowed to me so fervently that I feared it would shorten my lifespan. I quickly had someone help him up. "David, my father has been dead for 20 years. Aren't you afraid of karma for using his name to do such things?" When Chloe announced at the company that she was marrying the chairman's son, I nearly had a heart attack. I thought my father had come back from the dead. Little did I know it was you pulling the strings behind the scenes, using my father's name to do something so disgusting. Do you know what people in the company are saying about Chloe? What you've done brings shame to my father's memory. It's a disgrace to the entire group. David's forehead was flushed with guilt as he admitted, "Yes, it's my fault. I've spoiled Chloe too much. Miss, I'll do whatever you ask. Just please don't tell the chairman. Let me keep my job." Since things have escalated to this point, there's no need for me to hold back any longer. If this continues, those who've hurt me before will only grow more lawless. David, you're impersonating my father. Do you realize my father's already passed away? He answered shakily, I know. And I continued, if you marry Chloe, wouldn't that be like her having a posthumous wedding with my father? At least that way she could properly accompany him in the afterlife. David froze, as if he instantly understood what I meant. His Adam's apple bobbed. I guess so. I smiled knowingly. Then please proceed with your wedding to Chloe. I'll give you a big surprise at the ceremony. Their wedding was scheduled for 3 days later. That night, the class group chat exploded, because Chloe sent a wedding invitation in the group chat. Dang, the campus belle is getting married before graduation, and her fiancé is the son of a corporate tycoon, totally a billionaire. I'm definitely going to the wedding, and I'll even livestream it on our school's homepage so everyone can witness your fairy tale romance. Pleased by the comments, Chloe casually sent an extra-large cash gift to the group, taking the opportunity to belittle me as well. Instantly, many disparaging remarks about me flooded the group chat. Everyone was looking forward to the wedding 3 days later, so was I. I didn't go back to the company, but instead went to a small rural town. On the day of the wedding, I went to visit my father's tombstone in advance. The weeds had been cleared away, and the photograph was pristine. 20 years had passed since he left, and without this photo, I might have even forgotten his face. Dad, I murmured softly, fingertips brushing the photo on the tombstone, I won't let anyone tarnish your name. Placing the chrysanthemums down, I turned and strode away. Outside the mansion, the welcoming party Grandpa had arranged was already waiting. Clad in black suits with solemn expressions, the planners stood ready outside. Yet inside, a thoroughly Western-style wedding was underway. Miss Miller, the chairman sent me to wait here for you. Just call if you need anything. My boys will spring into action immediately. I gave a slight nod. Is this your usual line of work? What's your failure rate? The organizer chuckled. These matters rely on mutual consent, you see, not unlike certain ancient rituals. The venue was extravagantly appointed. To make David better resemble my father in his prime, I'd outright lent him the mansion for this performance. As I walked into the wedding venue, I happened to overhear a few classmates whispering, so this is Chloe's husband? So old. What do you know? Old or not, as long as he's rich. Didn't Amelia also hook up with some old guy? She even wanted to become Chloe's stepmother. What the hell? Why do they all like old men? I eased my steps and slowly approached the two of them. Are you talking about me? They both jumped in shock and screamed in unison, drawing the attention of most people in the room. Chloe, dragging her heavy wedding dress, came over and questioned in a hushed voice, Amelia, what are you doing here? I didn't invite you. What right do you have to attend my wedding? I replied matter-of-factly, this is my home. Can't I even return to my own house? Who are you trying to kill with laughter? Trying to seduce my father-in-law while dreaming of becoming my husband's stepmother. What a pretty fantasy. I know exactly what you're after. The chairman's fortune. Ever stopped to consider that my husband is the chairman's actual son? The inheritance is naturally his. What possible connection does that have with you? I often wonder if Chloe has persecution complex. Other classmates and interns joined in, mocking me with sarcastic remarks. After all, Chloe's influence clearly outweighs mine. With that, I sighed. Chloe, I hope in half an hour you'll still have the courage to talk to me like this. Her face distorted. How could I not have courage? Let me tell you, as long as I'm in this house for even one day, don't even think about getting the chairman's inheritance. Security, security, get this bitch out of here. The driver David arrived just in time to stop Chloe. Stay put and behave yourself. Today's the wedding. Chloe was puzzled and eager for answers. Honey, what exactly are you afraid of? It was her who deliberately seduced your dad first. She's not even your biological mother. What could you possibly be afraid of? In less than half an hour, she no longer had such courage. Soon, this bit of unpleasantness was wiped away, and the scene returned to its original state. The student in charge of the school's website specially set up a live stream. Within the camera frame, Chloe and David listened to the officiant's words of blessing. After the officiant finished the vows, he asked David if he wished to marry Chloe, but David hesitated. Not hesitation, more like stunned silence. It wasn't until the officiant repeated the question 3 times that David finally snapped out of it. The officiant smoothed things over with a smile and pressed the microphone back to David's lips. Every pair of eyes in the venue waited expectantly for his answer. Her face was filled with affection, while David appeared more flustered and unsure. I took out my phone and called the car fleet parked outside the mansion. Have them come in now. Yes, he agreed, and the two naturally exchanged diamond rings. The applause from the audience lasted barely 2 seconds. A barefoot child, covered in dirt, stumbled in and rushed straight to the stage, clinging to David's leg. "Dad, I finally found you." The air grew heavy with tension. The little boy continued pleading, "Dad, please just come home to see me. I got first place in class again this time. I'll listen to you from now on. And when you're home, don't fight with Mom anymore, okay? What are you doing with this auntie in a wedding dress?" Chloe pushed the child away. "What nonsense are you shouting, kid?" The little boy was knocked to the ground, clutching his stomach and wailing uncontrollably. Before long, a middle-aged woman with a weathered face entered the wedding venue, scooped up her son from the floor, and pounded his chest furiously. Chloe shielded David behind her. "Are you insane, you crazy woman? How dare you hit my husband? I'm the future wife of the group's boss. Don't make me ruin you." The woman angrily tore off Chloe's wedding dress. "Get lost, you homewrecker. This is my man. We have a marriage certificate. Want me to slap it across your face?" In an instant, nearly everyone present saw Chloe's exposed upper body and the crumpled marriage certificate. She picked it up and discovered the man in the photo was indeed the one standing before her. The truth was out. David frowned and shooed her away. "Who sent you? Get out of here. I'll explain everything later, alright." At that moment, Chloe finally realized it was all a scam. I stood up and walked over to the woman, crossing my arms. "David, I was the one who brought your wife here. Got a problem with that?" Chloe kept asking why, demanding an explanation. "What do you mean why?" "Chloe, you've been deceived. This man isn't the chairman's biological son at all. He's just the chairman's personal driver." She rubbed her temples in denial, exclaiming, "Impossible. Amelia, you must be lying to me. How could you possibly know he's the driver?" I shook my head helplessly. "After living in this house for 20 years, how could I not know? Not only do I know, but I'll also tell you this. My grandpa only had my dad as his son, but my dad passed away 20 years ago. Now do you understand? So eager to marry my dad, I thought he had risen from the dead." The audience below erupted. "Holy shit, Amelia's family is loaded. Her grandfather is the CEO of Miller Group. I saw her eating instant noodles at school last time. I thought she was broke. God, rich and smart. She hogged the school's scholarship every year without giving anyone else a chance." So Chloe's husband is really just Amelia's family driver? This driver pretended to be the chairman's son? Hang on, isn't this straight up marriage fraud? What do you mean fraud marriage? Chloe is the mistress. The analysis was absolutely correct. She turned to David and asked, "You lied to me? You're not actually the chairman's son, are you? You're just the Miller's chauffeur. You deceived my feelings and made me your mistress." David lowered his head in shame. He tried to leave, but I stopped him. "Ms. Miller, you said you'd let me go." I didn't even look at him. "If you hadn't lied in the first place, Chloe wouldn't have used that identity to target me. You gave her the power, and now I want to see just how powerful you really are." The sirens were closing in from all directions. I said to the officer, "Sheriff Reynolds, thank you for coming. It's truly an imposition. You and my father were close friends, and though he passed over 20 years ago, someone is now exploiting his name for deceitful purposes. I'd appreciate your help, Sheriff Reynolds." He readily agreed and took the driver away. The live stream was still running, and the audience had soared well beyond 100,000. She adjusted her dress, ready to flee in panic. I motioned for the butler at the door to stop her. "You're not leaving yet." Chloe bit her lower lip hard. "You know I was deceived. This has nothing to do with me. I apologize for my mistakes, Amelia. From now on, I'll stay completely out of your way." I crooked my finger, beckoning her to come closer. "Wasn't that driver claiming to be my father? Following your logic, you've already married my father, haven't you? But my father has been dead for so many years. As his new wife, what method should you use to go join him?" Chloe trembled all over, watching me as I spoke each word deliberately. "Then let's hold a posthumous wedding." Resistance proved futile as Chloe was taken away by the men Grandpa had prepared in advance. She cried for help desperately all the way, but no one dared to save her. I looked at all the interns who had ever bullied me. "You failed the internship and can leave now. By the way, it's only thanks to Chloe that I haven't held you accountable. But it's also Chloe who turned you into this pathetic state. In the future, keep your eyes sharp when judging people. Especially remember to see Chloe clearly." Chloe was dumped in the wilderness. I slapped the solid wooden coffin, startling her awake. With tape over her mouth, she sobbed muffled cries, tears streaming down like cheap pearls. "Amelia, Amelia, spare me. I truly know I was wrong. I shouldn't have bullied you before. All of it was my fault. I shouldn't have made everyone shun you during university either. That was horrible of me. I didn't mean to steal your ex-boyfriend either. He was the one who pursued me. I never really paid much attention to anything Chloe did. The only thing that truly angered me was the rumors she spread, not just slandering me, but also my grandfather and the entire Miller Group." I shrugged helplessly. "What can I do? You've already exchanged rings. This makes things rather difficult for me." David's wife and children were both brought here by me from their small rural town. When I arrived, his wife was working in the field. The child was wailing under the scorching sun, so she carried the baby on her back and continued working the whole afternoon until the entire field was properly tended. I asked her why she didn't wait until sunset to continue. My in-laws said we couldn't eat until the work was done. The sooner I finish, the sooner my child can have a meal, she replied. Later, I gave her some money. Sister, take this and start a new life with your child. That man doesn't deserve you, and you shouldn't go back to that town to care for your in-laws anymore. Tears streamed down her face as she said, Thank you for telling me the truth. Chloe knelt on the ground, kowtowing and begging for mercy. He lied to me, saying he was the chairman's son. None of this has anything to do with me. Before she could finish speaking, Chloe passed out. She was taken to the hospital, where doctors diagnosed her with a mental breakdown and severe mental illness. A mentally ill person naturally belongs where they should be. Whether Chloe was faking it or not, after my internship ended, the truth about my identity couldn't remain hidden, and I smoothly took over my grandfather's company. That day was Dad's death anniversary. I drove dozens of miles from home to visit him. Coincidentally, Mom came too. It wasn't easy for her to return from abroad. We exchanged smiles and placed chrysanthemums before Dad's tombstone. Dad, I've kept my promise to you. Mom praised me. Our Amelia is amazing. The Miller Group will definitely thrive under her leadership. I don't know the reason for my parents' relationship breakdown, but they separated very peacefully. Throughout their marriage, they never once complained about each other. End of story.